Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 58 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. Coming back today, you can see I already reset my machine, which is basically, removing the water here and filling these cobblestone blocks back in. Next steps are, I want to go ahead and dig out this little area here for just a moment. Want to see what I can do that might be cool here. So let's go ahead and try turning this machine on for a moment right now, and we're going to see what we get. There we go. I'm just going to go ahead and block off 2 of those blocks. That should be good to get started. And I want to see what happens when I shoot them out here through my portal. So we should be getting a piece of sand real soon. There it goes. And it opens up my portal for me. And you can see here comes the sand. This might actually be fun to watch. Ta-da! Cool. So sand lands here, huh? Good deal. And I'm guessing the second piece will land right about here. Is that accurate? Yes. Perfect. Awesome. Alright, so what do I want to do next? Good question. Let's see. I'll be back. Alright, so the next bit's a little bit tricky, but I think I'll sort it out. Now remember, it was right about here that the sand is going to land, and that's where I want it to be. Let's get the drill going, because I want to detect when the block lands here. So let's drill into this side. Can I drill into dirt? Ooh, maybe not. Alright, let's do this with smooth stone then. Put this guy here, and try this out. And we'll try drilling into this side. Okay, cool. And I want this to be a sensor, I think. Yep, that sounds cool. Yeah, why not? And I'm probably going to have to drill out back here, but we'll see. And in here, I'm going to want to drill and just put a regular old white laser. So let's do that with a ruby here. Is that going to work for me? No, I need to get a regular old white laser. So let's do here. We'll just do a piece of glass. Simple white lens. Nothing fancy. White lens, like so, but not really where I wanted it, so I must have drilled into the wrong side. So if that's there, then maybe this one? Nope. I'll find it eventually. It'll probably be the last one. There we go. Perfect. And again, a redstone, whatchamacallit, down here. Redstone torch. Probably have some in this chest. I do. Hooray. That chest is getting kind of small. I might upgrade it. We'll see. Cool, so we got our lens there, everything's looking good. Some dirt to cover this up. Dirt, I said. Excellent. So now when the sand lands here, it's going to go ahead and emit a redstone signal. Let's try that out. And here we go. Sand's going up. Now I want to see if the sand that travels past it blinks it real quick. So let's see what happens. Thinking it might. Yeah, it did for a second. I don't know if I like that. Problem resolved. I just moved it back one. So now the first piece of sand that comes through here will trip this sensor. What I want to do with this sensor now, let's try this out. If I place some red alloy wire right here, that's not going to work, is it? No, probably not. So give me a moment to think. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, because I want this thing to trigger when the sensor is blocked, of course I'm going to need another NOT gate, and I'm going to use some red alloy wire, and then I'm going to build up some stone jacketed wire, and this stuff is going to come straight up to here, I think. So let me go ahead and grab my friend, the Swift Wolf's ring. That ought to look good. I need this guy to come straight over to here. Cool. One more, actually. Yes, there. Perfect. Excellent. Looking good. Now let me go get a couple machines that I'm going to need for this next bit. And I just happen to have both of them inside my bag again. Awesome. What I'm going to do is place right here. So you can see when something breaks the beam, it activates. Perfect. So let's go ahead and drop right here. Hey, perfect. Did it just right. Deployer. Nice. And adjacent to that deployer, I'm going to place a block breaker. Okay. Now you might be saying, what the heck are you doing, Direwolf? Don't worry, I'm getting there. I'll tell you what I'm doing in a minute. Here we go. Perfect. And from there, I want, probably on this side is going to work for me. I need a, in here I have them. No, I must have put them in one of my bags. Yep, cobblestone structure pipe, plus a basic gate. Simple, basic, nothing fancy gate. And right on this guy, I'm going to probably have to place it like this. place my gate, and say, if you detect the inventory is empty, emit a redstone signal. Cool. And finally, I need to go over here and request. Now, who wants to try and take a guess what I'm going to request? How about a piece of cactus? Request successful. Nice, I happen to have one. Ha ha ha. Maybe I should make sure that my transmutation tablet knows about cactus before I give up my last piece. Yeah, it didn't, but it does now. So let's give up our last piece of cactus here and place it inside the deployer. So we need this guy to go in here, and that looks good. And then I just need a piece of red alloy wire right here. And I'll grab some pneumatic tubes. And let's make ourselves a chest. So, those of you who are really familiar with this and why I might be doing it this way, if you're not, pay attention. The reason for this is, if I plant cactus right here, it's not going to grow, obviously, if this deployer is in the way. So what's going to happen is, when the sand lands here, it's going to break the beam, emitting a redstone signal, causing the deployer to drop its cactus on top of the sand that landed there, thereby causing the gate here to detect inventory empty as true, emit a redstone signal, causing the deployer to shoot out and deposit the deployer in here. So the block breaker will take the deployer and put him in the chest for me. Let's give it all a try now. I'm just going to break one block here because we've seen all this work enough. That looks cool. So cobblestone goes in, and you guys have seen the rest of this a minute ago, but let's see what happens. Macerates it up to sand. Dun 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 dun. Ta-da! Opens up the portal, and the sand goes up to the deployer, where it's going to hopefully shoot out here, not get interfered with by any of this stuff. Deposit the cactus, and put the block breaker in there. How cool is that? Now, next up. All this stuff is in the way here, obviously, so when the cactus grows, it is going to be a little bit of a problem, but don't worry, I've got some more plans. Pretty much the purpose of this was to get a cactus growth going. So let's take this piece here, that looks cool. I'm going to have to turn this off for a minute, and I'm going to reset the system real fast, just like this. Ta-da! Cactus goes back in, and this guy goes back to, hey, you weren't supposed to emit a redstone signal. Oh, right, because the sand's there still. Derpy-der. Alright, I'll be back once I've got this properly reset for the next stage. Okay, here we go. Transposer. I'm going to go ahead and place this guy right here. I need to get him to behave, so let's get ourselves... Always forget to put cobblestone back. And where's my screwdriver? Perfect. Now, you might be saying, Direwolf, it's going to take a long time for this cactus to grow. I know what you're thinking. That's why I'm going to go ahead and force it to grow a little bit faster. And how am I going to do that? Well, I'll be right back. But before I do that, why don't we get our pneumatic tube hooked up here. And I'm just going to run it off in this direction. And we'll hook it up to something in a minute. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, and I could have sworn I had a few more diamonds handy already, but I'm going to need 3 diamonds for what I'm about to make. I'm going to go ahead and craft with a lens, a cactus green lens, and 3 diamonds for the most powerful version of a lens. It's currently called unnamed, I believe that's a bug, but this is actually a +9 green laser, because diamonds give you 3 each. And I didn't really want that to be there, so I'm going to have to make this a smooth stone block with a drill instead of the way I meant to do it. So let's see, can I get something in here perhaps? There we go. And let's drill into one side here with our drill. I meant for this to be a normal laser, but that's okay. I'll just drill right here and place our green laser like that. Alright. I'm getting terrible at the sides thing. So what this should do now, and don't know if this will work, but let's go ahead and try it. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Cool! It is working. Perfect. So, we've got our green laser. Anybody know what a green laser does? Well, I'll be happy to tell you. A green laser makes things grow faster. So, this green laser is going to cause cactus to grow a little bit faster for me. How cool is that? I like it. So, that sounds good. I'll be right back. Alrighty then, so now we've got our cactus showing up, but we want to do something about the cactus when it does get here. So what I'm thinking is maybe knock this stuff off a little bit. That sounds good. And move it along in this direction. And I got myself an item detector here, okay? So what I'm going to do is place this like so, and then the items will go through and continue along this direction for whatever purpose I decide to use them for. Next up, I'm going to probably need another block breaker in a minute here because I have a couple ideas on what I want to do from here. But basically, I want to have my item detector run a red alloy wire like so. And I might need to break this piece off as well. So yeah, let's do this. Okay. So I'm trying to remember exactly how this little nifty gadget that I just created works, but let's check it out real quick. The counter, I don't think I've shown this in this season of my Let's Play yet, so I should show you guys real quick how it works. You'll note that there's a pretty complicated but not terribly crazy interface here. It has a maximum count and an increment and a decrement. Okay, so let's get some levers here to show how they work real fast. But basically, for every redstone signal that you receive on one side counts as an increment, and I want to say it's this side? Yeah, there we go. And every redstone signal on the other side counts as a decrement. Okay, so right now we have a maximum count of 10. Let's bring that down to 3. Okay, so watch what happens. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's an increment of 1. 1, 2, 3. A decrement of 1. Now if we bring our decrement up to 3, check this out. 1, 2, 3, and a decrement, boom, it decremented all the way down. So that is how that guy works. Okay, so there's a crash course in counters. It's a great way to count how many items go through an item detector, for example, and that's exactly what I'm using it for. Hooray! So let's see, I want to realign this guy, something like this, so that when it counts, I'm going to say 8 items going through here. Yeah, that sounds about right. Go ahead. So, and then down here is going to be our decrement side. Okay, now I might want to bump this guy up a little bit. That's probably a good idea. There we go. Yeah, that looks cool. So let's make this guy 8 again. And once you receive 8, then I want you to send a redstone signal over to, yeah, it's not going to work for me. Note that I can put the drilled sensor, looked like I could hook up a redstone wire to it. Keep that in the back of your mind. I did not know that until this moment. Alright, let's see. Maybe right down to here, where I'll probably, yeah, that'll work. And then I also want to do something like this. Boom. And then I'm going to decrement by 10. Why not, right? So what should happen is, after 8 items go through, it increments 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way up to the number 8, at which point it sends a redstone signal over here and up to the bottom here, and the bottom will immediately decrement it by 8. See how it jumped down from 10 once I closed the interface? It realized 8's the best it can do, because that's the maximum count that we have it set to. So it should automatically reset. So let's go get ourselves a block breaker, and I'll be back in a minute. And there we go, block breaker, sweet. This guy is going to break the sand that's sitting right here. So if I place this block breaker like so, this guy can go here, and then just adjust him. Yeah, that'll work. So that should automatically harvest the sand that's in front of this block. And let's see how this all works out. And I'm going to have to, of course, send this somewhere. So where do you think I'm going to send it? Well, let's send it right over here. Nice. That's not a bad idea, actually. But I don't want it connecting to that thingy. No, that would not be cool. So I need a cover, right? Yep, that's exactly what I need. They should be in my red power bag. Smooth stone cover ought to do it. Nope. There we go. That's perfect. And I can just connect it here, and it should find its way to the nearest inventory, i.e. the chest. Cool. And if I really wanted to be cool about it, I could even put covers on this guy. But not there. Yeah, there. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I'm not going to complain. I could use another piece of dirt. There we go. Nice. So let's give this guy a test. What do you say? I'm going to go ahead and break this block all by itself again. Oops. That ought to be fine. Cool. Let's see what happens. Now I'm going to go ahead and send 2 sand over there, and I'm curious to see what happens with the second piece of sand. It might become a problem for me, so we'll have to maybe consider only having 1 piece of sand getting created at any time, but we'll deal with it as things come along. So let's see, the sand comes through. Ta-da! Hey, what happened there? Not cool. Something that I didn't want to have happen happened. You know what I think it was? I immediately wound up with a block breaker trigger. So let's change stuff up, and I'll be back in a minute. You know, I think this sensor block here is causing me a little bit of an issue. So I'm going to break this and maybe run it under here. I just want to see if this causes any more problems for me. I'm hoping it will be less of an issue, but we'll find out in a moment. So let's see what happens. If I break this thing again, see it tripping? So give me a minute. Alright, so it's the NOT gate under here that's activating through this dirt block that's causing the issue. I think I finally tracked it down to that. So I'm going to have to knock this guy off. Thank you, sir. And run my redstone wire like this. I'm going to run this guy under here. And let's see, something like this, right? This ought to work for me. I just need to... There we go. And counter can go right here. Just need to adjust it a little bit. Where is my adjuster? Gonna need a screwdriver pretty soon. There we go. And then just run this guy around here to that side. Cool. And just for the sake of doing things properly, darn, I did not want to do that, but I'll fix that in a sec. Yeah, I'll get this straightened out, but I'll reorient this counter in a moment, get him back set to 0, and then fix my sensor and be right back. Alright, so I think I got this straightened out. It's a little tight under there, but basically I did pretty much what I was going to do. You can see I actually had to go down a block because I wound up touching the redstone torch that was down there. So let's try this one more time. I'm going to go ahead with 2 of these guys and see what happens. And I'll be back in a second once they're processed. There we go, the magic of editing. Alright, so the sand goes up there, lands over here, at which point the green laser turns on. And the cactus is going to grow pretty quickly and get sent through here. And you can see the counter going ahead and ticking up. Now you might notice that the cactus doesn't always land through the transposer. That's okay, the transposer will kind of do its thing for the most part. Probably. It's working like part of the time. I'll have to see if there's a good way I can kind of encourage it to go that direction more often than just, you know, randomly. But it's not bad. I think it's going through the block breaker occasionally, actually. Is it? No, I don't know where it's going when it goes that way. But you can see each time we get a cactus here, and we've gotten a few so far, we're incrementing our timer. Cool. So how about I come back in a minute once a few more cactuses have come out. Alright, I'm going to help this along, and then I'm going to have to adjust it a little bit. There we go. A few more cactuses coming through. Looks like we could use 1 or 2 more. I don't think I even set that to 8, did I? But there we go. Ticked. And we wound up breaking the sand, and everything's good. I forgot when I set this I needed to make this 8, and a decrement also of 8. So there we go. Now everything's reset properly. And I'm going to change this up a little bit to make it a little bit better. Alright, you ready for this trick? Let's go ahead and get a black hole band and an alchemical chest. Ha ha ha. We're just going to have to move this guy a little bit. So, excuse me, sir. Yep, I know I'm in trouble. And, let's see. If I set this guy up like so, I might have to move this a little bit, so maybe I'll do that off camera real quick. Alright, and then I'm going to take a piston, red doped wafer, some gold. You guys have seen me make a filter before, haven't you? Yep, I'm going to have to use a filter instead of a transposer because I want to place my alchemical chest right here, okay, but there's going to be a black hole band inside, sucking all the cactus towards it. You can see that the transposer just went flying in there, right? So I need the filter here to say, hey, you're only allowed to pull out cactus. Cool. And it'll just shoot it right that way. So only cactus will get pulled out of here. And I'm also going to need some kind of timer mechanism to force this thing to tick every now and then. So let's do that. Probably not exactly how I want it to go. So let me tweak the positioning of this and I'll be right back. Alright, completely changing direction on this. I decided to go with Buildcraft transport instead of the old red power transport. So what I'm going to do instead of everything you guys saw already, and yeah, I need to upgrade this chest a minute. Alright, so now that I upgraded the chest and deposited some junk, what I'm going to do here is basically, yeah, there's stuff there, but that's okay. This shouldn't be a problem. I should be able to place my redstone engine like so, and none of this should interfere with the redstone engine. And then I'm going to place an advanced transport pipe like here. And I'm going to need my wrench, like that. And then run this guy straight over, and I have a redstone transport pipe. And what this guy does is any item traversing the redstone, it will emit a redstone signal. So let's give it a shot. And then, of course, I want to open this guy up and say cactus is the only thing that's allowed through there. And then finally, I'm going to get some red alloy wire and place it here. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure something out with the red alloy wire in a moment. But that'll get me powering this machine at least. And let me give it a test. So basically, I'll need a lever here. And place a cactus in. And you can see there's a bunch of items that got sucked in there by the black hole band. But that's okay. It's only going to pull out cactus because I'm doing the advanced wooden pipe. Cool. And then I should get a redstone pulse each time an item goes through. Cool. Not bad. And I'll probably want to do something like put a gold pipe here just to make sure everything's good because that'll just make it happen a little bit better. Alright, so I set up a neat little system here. Basically, I said with this golden AND gate, if there's items in inventory, such as a cactus, so if there's a cactus in this adjacent inventory, emit a redstone signal, which activates the engine here. And then I also said if there's items traversing this pipe, emit a red pipe signal, okay? So what that means is if there's an item traveling through this pipe, emit a red pipe signal along the red wire. And down here I said if you're receiving a red pipe signal, emit a redstone signal, causing the golden pipe to activate. So let's try it out. Place a cactus in here, and it'll activate the gate because there's a cactus inside. And then it'll activate a red pipe signal because of the items traversing, and activates the gold pipe and shoots the item through the pipe. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, we're running through another test. Piece of cobblestone in there, activates, goes through, sand is going to land over here. The sand landing there will break the beam, causing the green laser to turn on, planting the cactus, and block breaker eats up the deployer. Cactus grows. And any cactus that is grown is automatically chopped off by the block breaker being next to it and sucked into the alchemical chest with the black hole band. And it's going to go ahead and pull through 8 cactus, at least, before the counter ticks and breaks off the cactus block there. So we might get an extra piece or two, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about an extra piece. There we go. Almost 8, I think. There we go. So the 8th piece caused this thing to break off. Sand goes in that direction. We get a couple extra pieces of cactus, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Yeah, definitely no biggie. Cool. Looking good so far. Alright guys, I decided to change it up just a little bit. I didn't like how much extra cactus I was getting, so I decided to make it a peat-fired engine here, which will run a lot faster than a redstone engine, and I've got plenty of peat to spare. This will just pull items out a little bit quicker out of the chest than the redstone engine would have. So let me get this junk out of here that got collected during my changing of the guard here, and I'll be back in a minute. So next up, digging into my transmutation table, I've got an energy condenser. Ooh, cool. This guy, basically, I'm going to place right down here at the end. And why don't I go with my remote ordering tool and request myself some wheat. Perfect. And what should happen is if I target the wheat block right there, I'm going to go ahead and let that guy hang out. And what should happen now is if I get 8 pieces of cactus, it turns into 2 wheat. Haha. So in reality, I had a little extra spare there. I needed 6 pieces of cactus, not 8. So I'm going to reduce this number a little bit. I also found that, remember there's a piece of cactus that's sitting on top here, on top of the sand, that's going to get sucked into the chest when the block breaker triggers. So I shrunk this guy down to 7. So let's bring this guy down to 5, and that will get me 6 pieces of cactus, which will become 2 pieces of wheat. So I think it's time to set up another supplier-provider system here with some stone transports in the middle. So I'm going to place the supplier-provider. Provider goes here. It's going to provide the wheat into this chest, which will be a supplier. And make sure that the wheat is the target block here. It should never pull out of that because I'm going to tell this guy, leave first stack. Perfect. And this guy I'm going to say 2 pieces of wheat. Sounds good. Alright, it feels like we're getting pretty close to one of those wrapping up points. Didn't get quite as far as I wanted to today. I had more trouble than I expected to with this cactus system, but I think I got it working. Let's give it a shot. So press the button, water comes down, activates this laser over here that starts burning through all this cobblestone. And maybe I'll make these side blocks here glass. I don't know. And then once it does get through, it sucks all that stuff through and straight up into there. And then gets macerated. And once the macerator takes care of all the sand, it's going to go ahead and start dropping the sand through this portal. The sand will land over here on this side, breaking the laser beam, causing the cactus to be planted, the block breaker to grab the deployer, and a green laser to start growing cactus for us. The cactus is grown and sucked into this chest by means of a black hole band. And once the chest detects that there's a piece of cactus inside, it's going to shoot it off in this general direction. After a few pieces of cactus land through, a block breaker will take care of the sand that's there. And all the cactus will land inside this condenser, at which point we'll get 2 pieces of wheat from a few pieces of cactus. I think my counter might have been off. So I'll just help the system out for a minute. There we go. I think my counter was off. There we go. And now the extra wheat is thrown off into here. So those 2 pieces of wheat that get created go there. Perfect. Everything looks to be working pretty darn well. So this is Direwolf20 signing off on episode 58 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. Stay tuned for next time where you will hopefully get to see where this is all going to lead to. I should be wrapping up this build next episode. So take it easy, everybody.